Hi guys, tents are all packed up now and there's no direct path to the Bothy on the map, but we know where it is. We're just going to have to feel for the best line, and the weather really has taken a turn for the worse. It'll be alright though. Tell you what, I'm having an absolutely great time. We're going to go up there. Hi guys, so I didn't do much filming on the way over here just because I couldn't be chowed. I just didn't have the energy. It's pouring with rain, it's really boggy underfoot. I've gone up to my knees past the gators once, so it's shown, and we're looking forward to finding the Bothy. It's been especially hard, like hauling fuel up to here. We've all taken turns with it, like, but Silky Nick spotted a chimney pot rising above the moor, very faint. We've been heading for that, and now we're in sight of the Bothy. Have a look at this Strathallic Bothy. So let's just crack on and get there. Say hi guys. Woo. Let's show you the inside of the Bothy. Got your Bothy shovel there, your typical Bothy information board, and there's a nice handwritten thing here telling you where to get dry peat. That's pretty handy. A left hand room. Looks like this is the bunk room, and these are our tents drying up there. But when we came in, there's nobody here, but there's a Vango tent. Looks like that's dry, that's drying out there. So there may be somebody around who's coming back tonight. We might have company. There's an all important toilet roll. It does look like you could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite a few people in here if you needed to. Maybe it's up to 10, or if you're going to lie on the floor. So the other rooms are quite interesting. I've just lit that fire. That's part of the fuel. That's a fuel logo carried in here, and the lads are going to get some peat if we can. We've got a few things drying, or attempting to dry in the washing line there. Now, little shelf here with a picture of Sandy the Hermit, who used to live here. I'll tell you a bit about him in a minute. And there's a shelf of books to read, and I've just left one myself, and someone's left a tin of mackerel, some baked beans, a game of Connect 4, some peanut butter, and a few long life milks, and a bit of breakfast. And there's some real mayonnaise there. I wouldn't trust that. And a few pens to write in the Bothy book. So Sandy had painted the walls of the Bothy, and I've wanted to see his paintings for absolutely ever. Looks like there's a couple of, looks like mallards flying there. And these walls are just got an abstract pattern on, dots, points. Over here, this is a pretty impressive wall. There's a horse, like some kind of man or woman with a headband carrying a baby on the back. Looks like a woman there next to, I don't know, mountains or sea, and looks like maybe a child there. There's some pictures of Rory there. And there's more paintings here. This, I'm not sure what this is. In the centre there's a guy in a boat with a great big beard and a trident, and a bare-breasted woman at a trestle table, and then some guy firing what looks like a snake on an arrow. It reminds me of, I don't know, Egyptian or Greek myth or something. And there's, I'll just movie jacket. There's a woman playing the harp. Some more pictures over here. Some kind of animal. Like, it looks like a cat on a boulder in the mid top right there, and then I think maybe a deer with antlers, and then that looks like a Viking longship, and then another woman. There's a load of empty glass bottles here, and someone's left a bottle of port with my name on it. It's empty. Of course it is. Of course it's empty. I think we'll be cosy here tonight. I'm glad of the bothy because the conditions outside are pretty grim. So Sandy, who used to live here, was James McRory Smith, and I know some of you will know a bit about him already, but there's a book about him here, and I don't know that much about him. I've been reading a little bit, and that book I brought with us last night, and from what I know, he was a guy who lived here. He joined in the Second World War, and after that he had a family with his wife, and he had children, and his wife died in a tragic car accident, and his children were taken in by the grandparents, and then he just lived a sort of roving, restless life. I think he just moved north, and eventually the land ran out, and he ended up at Strathallic Bothy. And there's some great tales about him living here, drinking his whiskey by the peat fire, and used to go over to the little hamlet. I don't know if it was Kinlochverby or Blem or wherever, or Shagrave, for his pension, and sort of subsist on cutting peat and eating trout from the loch and various, maybe a bit of venison here and there. And he was could be friendly, but could be cantankerous by some accounts as well. Lots of stories of walkers coming and finding the door barred, or a stream of curse words as they're entered. And sometime in the 80s, I think, the gable end of the bothy fell in during a storm, and he cut a deal with the MBA, who fixed it up on the provision that he left a room open for walkers to come in and stay in, and that bargain was sometimes honoured by Sandy, sometimes not. There's a tale that he came from the post office getting his pension one day to find walkers in his house, helping himself to his food, and can only imagine what the outcome of that was. And there's another great story, that there was NATO exercises here. I don't know if this is true, but a helicopter landed near the bothy, and an American airman got out with a shovel and started digging soil samples or whatever, and Sandy came out the bothy brandishing an axe and chased them off. I'd love to think that was true. But his paintings are still here, and the peat fire going, it does feel like he could walk in any moment. It's a really cool place, this bothy. Yeah, that's, don't know. Get dizzy in a minute. This fire's gonna go now. We need to get
I'm hungry enough that super noodles and chopped up salami with a bit of beef stock seems like a really good idea. Not bad. Pretty much rained for 24 hours yesterday, and the wind was howling around the Bothy. I was glad to be in the Bothy last night. It's warm, dry, cosy. I think the plan, because of the weather's been so bad, is to make a Strathan Bothy today. So we're going to get some breakfast, make haste, and head over there. Sleep alright, Nick?
Yep. Oh, I think it did.
Let's crack on.
Yes. I'm so glad the weather's broken, because there's no paths on the map. We just studied the contour lines between Strathallic and Strathan, and chose the most white space contour lines, knowing that might be the buggiest bit, and just trying to pick out the best line as we go. But with the weather being as it is, it's a much more pleasant walk, and we've just crested a little hill. We can see Sandwood Bay now. You can see Ambuck Hill, the shepherd over there. I'll try and get a closer pic of it, but it's a great sight, lovely to see. Sean, could you pass my camera, please? Save us going back hour. Oh man, how are? Please. So the weather's really been with us today between Strathallic and Strathan Bothy, and with a combination of paper map and GPS, navigation's been okay as well, and we haven't seen so much as a decent sheep track. There's no paths we could find, but it's not as boggy as yesterday, and it's been okay. And now we've descended a ridge and we're on the flat now, and we should be within 20 minutes of Strathan Bothy. And I hope it's not full, just so I can sit down, have a rest, get some water. But looking forward to getting there now. Not long. It's our first sight of the Bothy. So looking forward to going and sit down. Right guys, let's show you inside the Bothy. There's a couple of nice stone seats outside. That's our gear drying on one of them. We're taking advantage of the sun because we haven't got a lot of fuel tonight. There's shown in the left hand room. Very clean Bothy. And a sleeping platform there. There's a middle room here, which is just a nice clean empty room. Got a table in, and I might sleep in the middle room on a handy shelf. In the right hand room, looks it's the main room because it's the one with the fire. Got a sleeping platform there. It's got a Northumbrian teenager listening to goodness knows what. Oh, very good, very good, very good, my son. Bothy fire and a mirror, and there's a photograph here of the Lady of Strathan. Don't know who she was. I'll see if I can find out.
Yeah, there's playing cards and that.
Yeah?
Tea bags, I don't know if they're much good in there.
I've never had a Bothy tea bag yet. It's up to you.
I run the last pocket with Harry.
So this Bothy seems really well kept, really clean. And it's going to be our home for tonight. Safe pitching the tents. Traditionally, every Bothy seems to have a collapsed gable end, and here it is. There's a old ploughshare there, and a wood store. Well, at the minute it's a store. There's no wood in it. So, where were we? Tree. Where did you see the tree?
It's our utility for this.
You've seen a tree?
Well,
No,
it
we're
looked
not
like
sure
a
what
tree.
it is. We're not sure what it is.
We saw it from the path.
Yeah, we haven't seen a tree for that long. You wasn't sure what it was.
Aye, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was, you know when we were pointing it out from the path the other day?
Aye.
It's that one, but we're a bit closer now, and there seems to be a little building to the right of it.
And cables. So one of the recent dramas at Strathan, I say recent, it happened in 2000, but when you're my age that's kind of recent, was that there was a couple, Anne and Robbie Northway, pitched up with the intent to live here as a small holding, and they had no rights to the property or anything, but they came with a Shetland pony, 40 geese, 9 dogs, 12 dogs sorry, and 9 puppies, and set about trying to make a living at the place. And I don't think it went well, but one of the amazing things was that Anne was already quite old. She was more than 60. Robbie was 25 years a junior, but he had multiple sclerosis. So amazing that they're trying to make a living here. But I don't think the MBA and the local sheep club were ever really happy about it. And I think Anne found it difficult. And she ultimately, after about a year, ended up at a sheltered accommodation in Inverness. And Robbie carried on without her. You can only imagine how lonely that would have felt. And ultimately he was evicted, but he stayed in the valley, and he started to construct his own shelter in the valley and still try to farm. Just the tenacity of that is just, I can't understand it. But ultimately there was one day when a couple of lads came marching over the moor and they said about him, and he said he couldn't live with the threat of violence. Really shook him up, and it, you know, his tenancy ended after that. But what an amazing story. And when you hear it, Strathan, you can't believe anybody would want to try and farm here. It's so remote and it's so boggy. While my water's boiling, this is what I've got for me bait. I've never tried these fire pot things before. This is the spicy pork noodles. I've heard mixed reviews, to be honest, but I'll eat anything. I like airplane food. I think it'll be alright. I'll let you know soon. Careful to pour the right amount in. Now I've just got to wait 15 minutes. It's not bad. I think I prefer the British Army MREs, to be honest.
might be that it's it really gets high up in the winter time. The third from last board is weak. There's that tree thing up there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's recording, I can't see it. The picture's gone.
It'll still be recording.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Saves its battery.
Hi guys, we're on the last leg of the journey from Strathallic to Blairmore, where the car is, and the weather's taken a little turn for the worse, but there's only 5k to go or something like that. It'll be fine. I tell you, after it's Thursday now, I've been eating MREs and power bars since Monday, but I really fancy big fat salty chips and a dirty burger. Anyway, thanks for coming along on this little trip with me. All the watchers, all the subs, I really appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Plain chicken royale with cheese.